Yes, it really is utterly fucking baffling as to why feminists don't like MRAs. Which, in a roundabout sort of way, leads us nicely into... Yes, it's the inevitable bit about rape. Yay. Now, for Thorium's inevitable bit about rape, there are a number of different things I could have picked him up on. His ridiculous fundamental misunderstanding of the concept of teaching men not to rape. He seems to be labouring under the assumption, the fundamentally wrong and ridiculously childish assumption, that teaching men not to rape means going to rapists who are about to rape a woman and saying, don't rape her. I mean, that is literally what he seems to believe. Utterly ludicrous, but anyway. But what I've actually gone for here is a ridiculously pig-headed claim he makes about rape apologetics. Now, the clip you're about to see is from his response to a piece on a British news programme called Newsnight, where they're discussing a reported rise in the number of claimed sexual assaults on British transport.
And I think you need to think about what sort of feeds into that and how far you can then take it in society. So, for instance, you might have a woman who does get sexually assaulted in a mixed gender carriage on the tube, and then you think about what the social sort of reaction might be there. And so you could have somebody saying, well, why did you get into a mixed gender carriage?
Victim blaming isn't really a thing, you know. When someone is actually, genuinely, full-on, holy shit, what a terrible thing, raped, the response is not to ask, well, why did you willingly enter a confined space with a man?
Victim blaming isn't really a thing, you know.
Oh, really? Rory Katz, take it away. Roll the clips and get me some chicken. Worst French accent ever.
Worst French accent ever.
So anyway, these two girls come in from the suburbs and they get bombed and their car is towed because they're moronic girls and, you know, they don't have a car. So they're standing there in the middle of the night with no car. And then they separate because they're drunk. They separate, which you never do. All right. Now Jennifer Moore, 18, on her way to college, she was 5'2", 105 pounds, wearing a mini skirt and a halter top with a bare midriff. Now again, there you go. So every predator in the world is going to pick that up at 2 in the morning.
I responded by saying that in dressing so provocatively, there is a possibility that her daughter was marking herself out as a potential victim for people with sexual desires, who may not take no for an answer.
Body language terms. It's the equivalent of saying that you'll buy someone dinner at a very nice, very expensive restaurant, and then when the bill comes saying, well, I didn't actually mean that. I just enjoyed seeing the gratitude in your eyes when I thought you were special enough to take you to this really nice restaurant. But for the record, how would that make you feel if it happened to you? Be clear, and above all, be honest with your body language. And this will probably reduce the chances of you ending up in situations where there have been miscommunications.
What did she expect to happen at 1 a.m. in the morning after sneaking out? I'm not saying, assuming that these facts are accurate and this did happen, I'm not saying that she deserved to be raped, but...
I'm not saying that she deserved to be raped, but...
Yeah, so actually, victim blaming happens all the fucking time. I don't even know where you got the idea that it didn't exist from, other than from incredibly far up your own arse, you fucking dickhead. Now, Thorium has a backup channel called Robot Thorium, which is a repository for a lot of his old videos where he used a text-to-speech program in order to do the voice for that, which gave him a kind of robot voice thing, hence Robot Thorium. Now, the video we're going to have a look at contains some graphic violence. Now, I don't usually put trigger warnings in my videos, but the following bit contains a scene where a woman hits a man in the face and then he hits her in the head, which I understand can be quite troubling and harrowing for people who've been through domestic abuse or sort of other violent crimes. So what I'll do is I'll put a timestamp in the description box of this video, which if you press, it'll take you to whatever the next bit is, because I don't know what the next bit is, because as I'm filming this, I don't know what order it's all going to be in. But whatever's next in this video, it'll be that. So I'll give you a second to pause the video and click on that timestamp. Okay, anyone who's still with me, the following bit, like I say, is quite troubling, will be quite sort of difficult to get through and all the rest of it, but I think it's worth taking a look at. So, here we go.
Would it be unreasonable to posit that the gross iniquity of both our judicial systems, and common public perception towards intergender violence, could have fostered a generation of women for whom violence against men is blasé, and the very notion of violence towards women is both anathema, and downright preposterous?
Fuck that, bitch! Fuck that shit! Fuck that shit! What are you gonna do, hit a girl?
Ooh! Hey, boy! Ooh! I'll beat the fuck out of you and you at the same time, so get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. Go. Oh! Fuck out.
Why you in here?
You just hit her, dog? Hey, yo, get the fuck out.
Hey, it's okay, I'll go. It's all good. We'll come back for that, nigga.
Damn, he just laid her out, dog. He just laid her out.
You go to jail.
Hey, that nigga's getting locked up. Dog. She hit you, dog? Damn. Go. Damn. Man, you don't want these problems over here. I'm just telling you, you don't want these problems. Go. Just go.
Where to begin? Not a single individual captured in this video can claim to have retained their dignity, none are entirely justified in their actions.
Okay, I'm with him thus far. Continue.
What we can conclude is that the young woman, shaven-headed and obnoxious to a fault, perceived the world as somewhat bipolar. She acts in a belligerent and provocative manner, goading one of the young men into hitting her, assuming all the while that he would not dare do so. Finally, after she appears to strike him in the face, later confirmed by the sight of his bleeding nose, he snaps. His response leaves her prostrate.
And there's the fucking difference, isn't it? I mean, this video is called The Double Standard in Gender Abuse, which there is a double standard, clearly. I think if you look at public perceptions of female on male violence or male on female violence, there is a difference there. But this example perfectly shows why. Whilst the woman was able to give the man a bloody nose, which wasn't fucking cool in the first place, okay, but it's a bloody nose. You wash the blood away, you might hurt for a few days, but you're okay. The man, on the other hand, was able to knock her off her feet, potentially hospitalising her, and in extreme circumstances might actually end up killing the woman. See, there's the difference, isn't it? The difference in relative strengths of the sexes. See, these MRA MGTOW fucking types, right, like to go on about sexual dimorphism, the physical differences between men and women, until it comes to domestic abuse, and then all of a sudden they want to pretend like that doesn't fucking exist anymore. How very intriguing.
Quid pro quo, one might argue. But it is at this moment that she forgoes the desire to act like a man, to be treated like a man, calling for someone to ring 911. A number of those in attendance begin to comment about how he's going to jail now, neglecting entirely her identical transgression.
Oh, no. It was not an identical transgression at all, was it? She punches him in the face whilst they're face to face, right? So he has an opportunity to defend himself. There's also like a door frame in the way so she can't get a proper swing at him, and there are people in the immediate vicinity to restrain her. What he does, like a massive fucking coward, is waits for them to start walking away so her back is turned. He steps out of the door so he can get a full swing at her and punches her in the side of the head whilst her back is turned so she has absolutely no opportunity to defend herself. He sucker punches her. What a cowardly prick.
She bleats repeatedly, "What did you hit me for?" with absolutely no sense of awareness. Or rather, with no comprehension that hitting someone might result in them hitting you back.
No, she was probably just really fucking shocked at the cowardly way in which he hit her in the fucking head whilst her back was turned. Which, by the way, seems to me a perfectly justified response to that.
Let us return, then, to the matter of public opinion. For there to be change, the general population must approach the subject of intergender abuse in a far more equanimitous fashion.
I fully concur. I think there needs to be a change in public opinion when it comes to the idea of women being the domestic abuser of a man in situations, because that clearly does happen. But what we would need for that would be maybe, say, like an actual men's rights movement, rather than the fucking hateful, bigoted shambles which currently exists, which calls itself a men's rights movement. Yeah, if we had that, yeah, that would be a good start, wouldn't it? Now, like so many anti-woman bigots, his bigotry begets other bigotry, and Thorium is a massive fucking racist. Now, I could focus on his racism towards Muslims, which is fucking rampant, as you can see from titles like Islam in the West, Multiculturalism, The Paris Attacks, Europe Continues to Bleed, Islam in the West, We Must Resist. And most deliciously of all, Islam in the West, Wrath of the Awakened Saxon. God almighty, for fuck's sake, what a load of old shite. And as you can tell from all of this, he is a massive Islamophobic dickhead. Yeah, so there's all that. But I just want to show you this one clip from a video where he's attacking basically all minorities and claiming that whites are basically the put-upon group in the modern world. And he goes through this rather strange diatribe about old inventors of shit.
But I believe the first viable internal combustion engine was invented by either Etienne Lenoir or Siegfried Marcus, while Carl Benz is generally regarded as the inventor of the first automobile to be powered by such an engine. Do you know what? I think all three of the aforementioned were white. No more white privilege bullshit. No more dear white people jokes. No more racism against white people doesn't count. And no more stigmatization of white pride. I and many others are exceptionally proud to be white.
And that clip for me sums up the fucking bullshit of all these white supremacist assholes. Basically, they're pathetic individuals who have achieved fucking nothing with their life whatsoever. They want to wallow in vicarious glory, basking in the achievements of other people who happen to have the same skin pigmentation to them. And just like the rest of them, Thorium, you are a really sad, pathetic little prick. So all that leaves me to say is, Thorium, go fuck yourself.